We have the history in the UN. Yes, so let's make progress. So we now see the gross weight, the maximum of the container, it should not exceed 35 tons. We call it the permissible maximum payload.
For a 20-footer.
You see, averagely, you see this size, you see the container is a unit and has got certain common characteristics despite the time. It is only when it comes to the volume that there's a vast difference. For 20-footer, the volume is about 28, 38, at west about 33 cubic meter. Whilst for the 40, it's about 68. You get it? But you see, when it comes to optimization of weight is something very important in the shipping industry. We'll be learning it very soon. From certain time, when we are exporting, you have to produce a certain certificate. Those of you in the field who are here, who are doing export. Let me see. So when you are exporting now in containers, what is the most relevant certificate to produce? If not, even if you are paying $1 million as freight, they will not carry your box. What is it? So what is, yes, after weighing that paper, you have to show everywhere. What's the name of it? DGM, the full name. It's an abbreviation. You see, we are practicing it, but you didn't care to know what is the meaning of DGM. We'll be studying it very soon, so I will not put the cart before the horse. It concerns weight because containers were overloaded and ships were sinking until the MS Napoli got sunk and the IMO. Have you heard about the IMO? International Maritime said enough is enough. You this containerized cargo traffic, we are going to control you. Then they amended a portion of their safety convention. You know, there's a convention called the SOLAS Convention, Safety of Life at Sea. Then they said now it's a compulsion. You have to adhere to the maximum weight. So, Ghana Standards Authority is the authority contracted by Ghana to implement this, and they have registered weighing bridges all over Tamantakrady to do it. Amaris is one. There's one in the corner there, opposite the river container yard. So the simple thing is, if you load your cargo for export, go and weigh the container. If it meets the maximum, they'll give you the certificate. You read the port gate. If you don't show that certificate, they will not allow you to send the container for export. At West, if you didn't do it, you forget, inside the harbour now, last resort, they have the weighing bridge there. And since then, no container vessel has sunk anymore. I think they started the inspection 1st June or July 2017 or so. The VGM, verified gross mass. So there are 2 or 3 ways to achieve it. You either weigh the cargo alone, weigh the empty container, put the products together, and that is your gross mass. Or you load both of them, weigh them, then they deduct one from it, and then you establish your gross mass. So we'll be treating it. There's a slide on it. So that weight thing is a maximum. Be it 20 or 40. Good.
Okay, so please, assuming you have 98 tons.
98 tons.
Will you know how many containers?
Yes, you will know it. 98 tons of the general cargo. Yes. And they are telling you the maximum for one is 35. Divide it. Divide 98 by 35. It will give you 2 point something. 98. So 2 of them will give you 70. So the third container will be underweight, but we don't mind. We don't want it to be overweighted. Okay, that is it. Do you get it now?
Yes.
So as a knowledgeable freight forwarder, with practice, if you get the weight or volume of cargo, you know the type of container to contract, and quickly you know the number of containers. That is how the custom officers can detect fraud. By training, by certain products, certain packages, we know the quantum. If you tell me you brought 20, tabletop fridges in high cube 40 foot, and you quote certain number for me, and it is wrong, I will only be laughing at you. Do it fast, I know it. Yes.
Okay, so please, can the consignment affect the tons?
Of course, the type of cargo is correct. We have light and then heavy or dry cargo or dense cargo. Dense cargo are the ones which are very heavy. Only a small amount will optimize this weight.
Okay.
But light cargo, the whole container will be full just now because of its volume, but the weight will be very minimal. For instance, if you take 20 footer of, you go to Gambia and go and buy kakao, the kakao we have been eating is produced in Gambia. You go and buy it. Kakao is very light. The whole 20 foot, the weight of kakao is just about 1,000 something kilos. Just 1 ton. But here's the case, the container is calling for 25 tons. Well, that is your cargo. But volume wise, the 28 or 30 cubic meter has been optimized already. If you are trading in lead is very heavy. So you see those heavy things, when they put them in the container to stabilize the container, they are put at the middle here. But the light cargo, if you go and buy lower base, very heavy. By the time you fill it across by halfway, you've optimized the 35 tons. So our brothers who have been importing those very heavy this year know there will be space left. They will reduce the tonnage here to about 32. Then they will fill the empty space with very light cargo. That's how they have been bringing the toilet rolls. So the toilet roll becomes a bonus for the trader. He intentionally went and bought louver bricks or glass sheets to manufacture doors, and that is where his calculation is profit. So the toilet roll becomes bonus. Good. Any questions about? Yes. Again, yes.
Please, where will a reefer container fall?
So don't put the cart before the horse. We are going next very soon. We are now differently on the type now. We have not diverted into the kinds yet. Should we make progress?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So with this is something outside of it. If you have the weight,
Yes.
will the freight be the same amount of?
Freight wise, yes. Averagely, we have something we call freight of all kinds. This is the abbreviation. In negotiating for freight, we have different type of freight. Freight all kinds. If you fall under that category, you can negotiate. As for the freight, it's not consistent, but it dependent on a lot of about 12 factors, and one of them is the type of cargo. Whether it is dense, light, its susceptibility to damage, and its handling concepts, and even the destination you are going. So there is a whole lot that goes into freight calculation, which we'll do at the tail end of this topic. Yes, so we go and see whether Madam's anxiety, your anxiety is now coming in. This is the commonest, we call it the general purpose. So any cargo that does not need any special condition and that is to be transported, you can put it in this container. So the kind is the general purpose container. And obviously the size tells you is the 40 type. And these days, very soon, we have been writing 1x40 on our bill of ladings, and very soon they started coding them. We shall be writing the codes for them on our documents. We won't write the full description anymore. Okay? So as we have started, this course we have started is a very knowledge and technical. We will be studying every day because it's a very dynamic industry and changes keep on happening to meet the technological changes in the world. We know we are in the fourth revolution now. Do you know that? We are in the fourth revolution in the world, economically everywhere. And in the academic and whatever revolution, we are in the fourth phase 2 now. We are not in the third, we are also in the fourth. But Ghana is lacking. So we have a lot more. You should be reading more. Okay. So this is so the dimension inside. You see, for instance, they told us 35 is the maximum. So for instance, 20, the payload, that is they told us maximum weight. 22. So it's general purpose. That is why it's written here, kinds of general cargo. provided the cargo does not meet any special conditions to be traded in. General is other said general purpose GP. You see it in other descriptions. Your yam, if you're exporting yam, can go into. If you're exporting yam, should it go into this container? So should it go into this container?
No.
It's a picture.
Yes. So which type of container will it go in?
Reaper.
Which type of container should we use for yam?
Dry.
It is still dry, but further description of that thought. All these ones are also dry, but you can't put it in this one. Which one? Somebody should guess. Let's do guesswork. Yes. Container. First of all, the yams will be in cartons anyway. We don't. Yams are packed in containers in the breakboard form, as he said. They don't throw the yam tubers directly into the container. They are breakboard. They are in cartons. Depending on the weight, each carton, the maximum is about 25 kg. Is that not it? So they are packed like that. Maybe depending on the size, a container can take even 5 if they are the small types. If it is the big ones, 3 or 4, good. But what kind of container should we store yams in to travel the sea length?
The high key.
No. Yes, it can be high cube depending on the quantity you want to store in a container. But like this one, this is a general purpose or general cargo. That container has got a name. It can still be the general purpose, general cargo, but it should be ventilated. We call it the ventilated container. Those ones at the top here, we have windows that air will be circulating. So if you are handling yam export, the type of container they come and put down for you to fill, watch it closely. There are windows around the 4 tops and the corners that air goes in and out to ventilate it. Okay,